Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout for Hip Kit Club. Today's assignment is Mixed Media Monday and I'm using the March 2021 kits. So specifically I'm focusing on the colour kit which contains 3 colours of shimmers, a Sweet Heart Vibez, Mustard Seed Vibez and Purple Peony Creameez. So I was really inspired by this paper. It's an exclusive paper because all of the March kits are exclusives, and I just really loved the colours and the stripes, and I thought that I would tear some strips to create kind of like a horizontal shelf for my design today, and my plan was to mimic the colours of these stripes, so the oranges, the pinks and the hot pink, which I was going to just turn into purple, and use those areas to create some mixed media. So I wasn't sure initially whether I was going to stick the papers down and then do the mixed media, or if I was going to do the mixed media first and then add the papers on top. In the end I decided to add the mixed media to the background first. So I needed to create an orange colour. So I just mixed the pink one and the yellow one together to make orange. I just needed a lot more yellow than I did pink, but I started with the pink and put too much down. So I ended up with tons of paint. I created this orange and just have smushed it down onto the layout using the packaging technique, as you see there. I didn't want to use that bit that I'd already created on a separate piece of packaging because it was just too much. So I have just pressed it down onto the background and then created some large splatters or drips just because they kind of dripped off of the sheet. But that's, it's a happy accident, I think, when that happens. Moving on to the pink one now, I've just sprayed directly onto the background using the spray nozzle. And I've just added a bit more using the packaging technique, and I've just spread it around a bit more as well in the same way. Just going back to the orange and adding a few splatters over that area, and then I move on to the purple, which is called Purple Peony and is a Creameez. So the Creameez are hard watercolour paints and you have to put water on them to activate them. So I've already sprayed some water into my little pot and let it sit for a while. And then I was able to pick up the paint, put some onto a piece of packaging, apply some more water, and use the packaging technique to apply that purple colour to the layout. So, okay, I've now got my 3 areas of colour, very specific areas of colour there, lots of splatters, some big drips, and some areas where there's a lot of colour and some areas where it's much thinner. So I'm liking how that's looking. So now what I'm doing is I'm just going through the embellishments and picking out some of the flowers and other embellishments that are in the right colours. So I'm predominantly looking for orange, pinks and purples. But whilst I was doing this, the yellow, the bright yellow in the floral ephemera really stood out to me and looked really beautiful with these colours. So I decided to bring that in as well, although I haven't done it as a mixed media colour, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm just drying off those areas of lots of colour with my heat tool. Trying to be careful not to burn it. I've done that quite a few times lately, and I really must go a bit more careful with this heat tool. It is quite fierce, and I'm having to actually wick up some of them splatters or the big areas because they just weren't drying, and I was a bit worried about burning my layout. But that's okay. That works fine. So it's all pretty much dry now, and I'm now just going to arrange some of the papers onto the layout. So you can see how I'm doing it kind of tone on tone-ish. I'm aiming for oranges on the left, pinks in the middle and purples on the right. I'm just playing around with those strips of paper. I suspect that we won't end up seeing much of them. Well, I know we won't end up seeing much of them once the layout is complete. And then, to be honest, the flowers were just so perfect for this layout. I just love them. They're so easy to use, aren't they? Floral ephemera, it's wonderful. So I just picked up, I just kept picking up more and more of the flowers that I picked up. You can see I've got a little pile down on the left-hand side. And I just keep adding them and building up and building up and building up. I'm aiming for like a horizontal line-ish across the layout, but with some areas that are going taller than others. And I wanted to build on where the mixed media was. So I had like those large splatters at the top where the pink was, so I'm adding lots of flowers around there. And then I've got some larger ones down the bottom, so I'll put some flowers down there as well. So that's what I was aiming for. I realised I didn't have enough purple. I just got the one purple out, and that had the yellow in the middle, which wasn't really working for me being over in the purple section. So I found a few more purple bits and pieces. So of that flower, it's very light purple, but it is purple. And then later on I add some more bits over that side as well. And I also cover up some of that yellow that's shining out from the middle of that purple flower as well to the right of my right photo. It was bothering me. Okay, I've pulled out the butterfly as well, the yellow butterfly. And I've just put that underneath the photo down the bottom there. I picked out a little pink bunny. This is not necessarily an Easter layout, although I think it was the day before Easter. But my little girl loves bunny rabbits, so any layout about her with a bunny on it makes complete sense. So yeah, put that little bunny there. He's kind of sniffing the ground by the looks of it, and just put him under the photos. I've got another bunny as well, top right of the right photo, that says no bunny business, like as in no funny business. So funny, I love it. I actually covered up the phrase just because I wanted him poking out of the top, so the phrase ended up being covered, but the phrase is brilliant. I loved it. I might have to save that and use that for a title sometime. So you can see I printed my photos in black and white. This made them really pop against the colour, the busy background colours, and meant that there was no clashing of the colours in my photographs with the background colours on the layout. So that worked out well. So I'm just continuing to add little bits and pieces, still colour on colour. So I've got some little hearts that were in the ephemera, and some chipboard as well. I've been going through the chipboard to see what bits and pieces I can pick out. I love the black and white elements. I really love how black and white looks against these colours, like the photos, for example. So I thought I'd pick out that bow. That's a chipboard bow, and I've used that also to cover up part of the yellow section on that purple flower that was bothering me so much. I'm just adding my title. Just added my title that says "Sweet as Sugar." It was a chipboard piece, like a long banner, but I couldn't find anywhere for it to go in its original format of being long. So I've just chopped it up into pieces and arranged it underneath my photo, and that fits lovely now. I've got a little birdie at the top, and I've added some puffy hearts as well, and some puffy flowers and dots and things. So it's all kind of coming along. Over on the right, I just added a chipboard circle with a butterfly in it and a puffy purple flower as well. Now just adding a couple of orange chipboard hearts, so actually adding one over the top of one of my photos. I've also got these black and white dotty elements, chipboard elements. One's like a flag shape and one's a banner shape. Does that make sense? So I've used both of those. Like I said, I really like the black on the layout, black and white. So I've added one underneath the left photo and one underneath the right photo. Just handwriting in my journaling using a black pen. And then I'm just going to finish off with some dramatic splatters in black. And I really love how this finishes off the layout. It's just full-on drama. I just think it makes such an impact. I'm having to blot off or wick up some of the excess ink spots. It's just very intense ink, and sometimes it can bleed into the background and the papers and the embellishments and things. So I tend to wick it up rather than allow it to dry naturally. And that is me done. This is a super quick layout. It was finished very quickly in about 40 minutes. So it's unusual for me to have a mixed media layout that's quick. But it just was so easy and came together so well. So definitely try out these colours and the ephemera from the kit. Okay, don't forget that if you are a Hip Kit Club subscriber, you get the main kit at a reduced price, 15% discount off all add-on kits, and you also get access to exclusive subscriber cut files. So lots of reasons to subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me today. That was Nikki Rowland for Hip Kit Club.